Hello everyone, welcome back to our part 3 of our LCMS MS method development series. In our previous videos we covered compound optimization and chromatography, and today we are diving into one of the most critical aspects of achieving optimal sensitivity and reproducibility, that is source optimization. So the ion source is where the magic happens. It's where your liquid chromatography eluent is converted into gas-phase ions that can be analyzed by the mass spectrometer. The parameters we optimize here directly impact your signal intensity, background noise, and ultimately your method sensitivity and robustness. So in source optimization, there are 5 critical parameters that needs to be optimized. First is your nebular gas, also called as gas 1. Second is turbo gas, gas 2. Curtain gas, ion spray voltage, and CAD temperature. Understanding how these parameters work together is essential for developing a reliable, sensitive LC-MS method. So let's start with the nebulizer gas, also called as gas 1. So what does it do? The nebulizer gas is responsible for the initial pneumatic nebulization of your LC eluent. As your liquid sample exits the electrospray needle, the nebulizer gas, typically nitrogen, flows around the needle tip at high velocity, creating a shearing force that breaks up the liquid into fine droplets. Think of it like an aerosol spray can. And why is this nebulizer important? So the size of these initial droplets is crucial. Smaller the droplets, dissolve it more efficiently, leading to a better ionization and higher sensitivity. However, there is a balance to strike this. Now let's talk about the optimizing strategy. In starting, typically 40 to 60 psi would work. Now what happens if you keep it too low? You'll get large droplets, poor desolvation and reduced sensitivity. And if you go for too high, you can actually disperse the spray too much, reducing the number of ions entering the mass spectrometer. And you may also create turbulence and destabilizes your spray. So here a practical tip would be you should start with manufacturer's recommendation and increase the nebulizer gas in increments of 5 to 10 units while monitoring your signal intensity. You'll typically see sensitivity increase to an optimum, then plateau or decrease. That optimum is your target value. One important note, the optimal nebulizer gas setting often depends on your flow rate. Higher LC flow rates generally require higher nebulizing gas pressures to maintain efficient nebulization. Now let's discuss the turbo gas, also called as gas 2 or desolvation gas, and its close partner, the CAD temperature or source temperature. Now what does the turbo gas do? While the nebulizer gas creates the initial droplets, the turbo gas is responsible for desolvation, removing the solvent from those droplets to liberate free ions. The turbo gas flows across the spray plume, typically perpendicular to the spray direction, and works in conjunction with heat to evaporate the solvent. Now what is CAD temperature? CAD stands for collisionally activated dissociation temperature. Though in the context of source, it's really the temperature of the turbo gas. This heated nitrogen gas accelerates the desolvation process. The combination of heat and gas flow is what makes desolvation effective. Why you need to optimize these turbo gas and CAD temperature together? Now these two parameters work synergistically. Higher temperature increases the energy available for desolvation, while higher gas flow increases the mass transfer of solvent vapor away from the droplets. They need to be optimized together because they are interdependent. So the optimizing strategy, the starting point for turbo gas would be 40 to 70 psi, and if you keep low values, then there would be incomplete desolvation, solvent clusters, or reduced sensitivity. And if you give high turbo gas, there would be better desolvation up to a point, but excessive gas can blow your spray away from the inlet. And for CAD temperature, starting point would be 400 to 500 degrees Celsius for most small molecules. If you give low CAD temperature, there would be poor desolvation, especially important for aqueous mobile phases. And if you give too high, then there would be thermal degradation for thermally labile compounds. So you all can start with moderate settings, example 50 for turbo gas and 450 for temperature. And fix the temperature and optimize turbo gas first. Then fix the turbo gas and optimize temperature. You may need to iterate once more for fine tuning. Now for special consideration, you need to considerate your aqueous mobile phases. Aqueous mobile phases that require higher turbo gas and temperature setting because water has a higher heat of vaporization than organic solvent. Now talking about volatile compounds, they may actually lose sensitivity at very high temperature due to over evaporation before ionization. And for thermally sensitive compounds like protein, peptide or compounds with the labile functional groups may require lower temperature of about 300 to 400 degrees Celsius. So you need to optimize your source temperature as per the requirement of the analyte, your target analyte. So as I said, the starting point for turbo gas would be 40 to 70 psi, and for CAD temperature it would be 400 to 500 degrees Celsius. And if you're detecting a lot of compounds in your MS, then you all can go with moderate settings like 50 for turbo gas and 450 for temperature, and that would be an optimum condition to detect all of your analytes. Now let's talk about one of the most underappreciated but critical parameters in your ion source, that is curtain gas. Now what is its role? It creates a gas barrier at the interface between the atmospheric pressure ion source and the high vacuum region of the mass spectrometer. It flows outward from the orifice or interface plate, creating a curtain that serves multiple functions. So the key functions are, it keeps neutrals out. So it prevents uncharged solvent molecules and other neutral species from entering the vacuum system. Second would be it reduces the contamination. It stops non-volatile material from accumulating on the orifice and in the mass spectrometer. And third, it improves ion focusing. Helps focus the ion beam toward the entrance of the mass spectrometer. So let's talk about the optimization strategy. So the starting point of curtain gas could be around 20 to 35 psi. And if you keep a very low curtain gas, then it could cause contamination, baseline noise rises. You'll see more source maintenance. And if you keep high curtain gas, then it would create too much back pressure. They would be blocking your analyte ions from entering the spectrometer. So talking about the moderate setting, it would be 25 psi. And decrease curtain gas while monitoring signal. You'll see intensity increase. Find the lowest setting that maintains stable signal and acceptable background. Then you may increase by 5 to 10 units to provide a safety margin for long-term operation. And for routine analysis, especially in complex matrices like biological sample, I would recommend favoring slightly higher curtain gas values around 30 to 35 to prioritize system cleanliness and reduce maintenance frequency. Even if you sacrifice 10 to 15% sensitivity is okay. The trade-off is usually worth it for long-term robustness. Finally, let's discuss the ion spray voltage, also called the electrospray voltage or needle voltage. This is the voltage applied to your electrospray needle and is fundamental to the ionization process itself. Now, what does it do? The ion spray voltage creates a strong electric field at the tip of electrospray needle. This electric field causes charge accumulation on the surface of the liquid emerging from the needle. Now, when the electrostatic repulsion exceeds the surface tension of the liquid, the famous Taylor cone forms and charge droplets are emitted. For positive mode, voltage typically around 3000 to 5500 volt is provided, and in negative it is minus 2500 to minus 4500 volt. Now let's see what happens at different voltages. If you provide less voltage, then there would be insufficient charge on droplets, poor spray formation, low sensitivity, and unstable spray. At optimal range, you'll find stable Taylor cone formation, maximum analyte ion production, best signal to noise ratio. And if it's too high, the gas phase discharge can destroy your analyte ions. There would be increase in background noise and potential damage to the source. So the optimization strategy would be begin at positive 4000 voltage, and for negative mode you can start with 3500 voltage and increase in increments about 250 or 500 voltage, and you need to monitor the signal intensity and stability carefully. And also sometimes the highest signal doesn't give the best signal to noise ratio, so you need to monitor your background as well. Now that we have covered each parameter individually, let's talk about the optimization workflow, because these parameters don't operate in isolation. So start with manufacturer's default for your flow rate and mobile phase. Optimize ion spray voltage first. This has the most dramatic effect on signal. Then you can optimize your nebulizer gas that affects your droplet formation. And then you can come to turbo gas and CAD temperature together. And then you all can fine tune curtain gas last, balancing the sensitivity with cleanliness. And you need to document everything. Keep records of optimal settings for different mobile phase composition and flow rate. And matrix effect also matters here. Optimal settings may differ slightly between standards in solvent and in real sample in complex matrices. And regular maintenance is key. Source parameters may need slight adjustment as your source ages and accumulates contamination. And you need one compound at a time. If you're developing a multi-analyte method, optimize with your least sensitive compound first. So you're not just looking for the highest peak intensity, you also want it to be reproducible. There should be stable signal with good peak shape and low background noise. So source optimization is truly where method development becomes both science and art. These 5 parameters, nebulizer, turbo, curtain gas, ion spray voltage, CAD temperature, They work together to transform your LC eluent into gas-phase ions your mass spectrometer can detect. So I hope you liked this series on method development in LC-MS, where we covered compound optimization in the beginning, then chromatography, and at last the source optimization. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. I'd be happy to clarify anything or discuss your specific method development challenges. Thank you for watching the video.